What's happening, guys? Sam Adams here, and welcome to a brand new episode of The Drop, the weekly show where I let you know the hottest games coming out across the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, the PC, the Switch, whatever they might be coming out on, we will cover them right here. This week is one of the biggest weeks of the fall, with Gears 5 hitting the Xbox One and the PC. On top of that, stuff like Final Fantasy VIII Remastered and NBA 2K20. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into this week's top video game releases. First off, our headliner Gears of War 5 is coming out on the Xbox One and the PC. From one of gaming's most acclaimed sagas, Gears is bigger than ever, with 5 thrilling modes and the deepest campaign yet. The world is crumbling, the Swarm has corrupted the Coalition's robot army and is descending upon human cities. With danger closing in, Kait Diaz breaks away to uncover her connection to the enemy and discovers the true danger to Sarah herself. Outrun the bomb, outsmart the Swarm, and escape the Hive. Escape is a new aggressive high-stakes co-op mode featuring a 3-player suicide squad that must work together to take out enemy hives from within. May the best team win. Rack up points and trade up for superior weapons in Arcade, a frantic playlist built for jump-in over-the-top fun. With 10 other game types plus new and classic maps, Versus rewards every competitive style from casual to pro. Can you and 4 friends endure waves of ever-stronger enemies and bosses? Survive using new hero abilities, building defenses, collecting power, leveling your skills, and working as a team. And of course, there is also a map builder. Create custom escape hive maps and experiences to share with and challenge your friends. Even though there hasn't been much marketing building up to Gears 5, I will say that the early impressions that I have seen of the game have been overwhelmingly positive. It's much more open than previous Gears games. I believe that there is a much deeper story here as compared to some of the games in the past, but I think for longtime fans, it is still going to be Gears at heart, but it's also very welcoming for newcomers, especially considering that a lot of people might be playing Gears for the first time. Now, one thing that is worth mentioning, this game is included with Xbox Game Pass and Game Pass Ultimate, and I know if you do have Game Pass Ultimate, you can actually play the game on September the 4th, 2 days before the official release date, so keep that in mind if you do want to actually dive in and play the game. But for those that like cover-based shooters, for those that want to check out a brand new story in the world of Gears that does tie into the previous stories, then by all means, dive in and check out Gears 5 when it launches this week on the Xbox One and the PC. Next up, we've got NBA 2K20 coming out on the PS4, the Xbox One, the Switch, and the PC. NBA 2K has evolved into much more than a basketball simulation. 2K continues to redefine what's possible in sports gaming with NBA 2K20, featuring best-in-class graphics and gameplay, groundbreaking game modes, and unparalleled player control and customization. Plus, with its immersive open-world neighborhood, NBA 2K20 is a platform for gamers and ballers to come together and create what's next in basketball culture. And now, some bullet points. Best-in-class gameplay. Take your skills to the next level with the most realistic player control ever, featuring an upgraded motion engine with signature styles, advanced shooting controls, a new dribble size-up system, refined off-ball collisions, and a new read and react defensive game. And of course, the WNBA is in the game. For the first time, all 12 WNBA teams and over 140 players are in the game and ready to run in play now and season modes, complete with gameplay animations, playstyles, and visuals built exclusively for the women's game. Of course, there are legendary teams. Play with over 10 new legendary teams from the past, including the 09-10 Portland Trail Blazers, 2015-16 Cleveland Cavaliers, 2013-14 San Antonio Spurs, 02-03 Phoenix Suns, and all-decade teams from every era of NBA history. Over 100 total legendary teams to choose from. And on top of that, experience it all with next-level presentation. Dynamic broadcast quality gameplay presentation featuring the deepest roster of talent in sports video game history, led by Kevin Harlan, Ernie Johnson, and many more. It's an audio experience unlike any other, with over 60,000 new lines of dialogue, all new studio shows and game intros, my player interviews, records, and milestone coverage, and over 2,000 arena-specific crowd reactions and sounds. So initial impressions, the game looks fine. It's a NBA 2K game, that is for sure. I will say they have upped the gameplay, they have upped the way the game looks as well. The fidelity of the game has never been better, but on top of that, I also like the fact they have included the WNBA. I know some people write the WNBA off as a loss, but I know there are some people out there that do want a WNBA game, and so now you have one, and it's within NBA 2K20, which is cool. Now, what isn't included in this description is the fact that the game is riddled with microtransactions and randomized elements that are pretty much based off of how much money you pump into the game. There is literally a trailer that has been delisted from YouTube that had over 17,000 dislikes that actually has a slot machine and other randomized casino elements present within the trailer itself. You have got to be kidding me. It is absolutely horrible this year. Just so you know. Now, if you are somebody who doesn't mind that, if you are somebody who takes advantage of that, then you are going to have absolutely no problem with NBA 2K20. I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. But again, like I said, the game itself looking pretty good this year outside of the microtransaction problem. But if you do want to pick up NBA 2K20, it's coming out this week on the PS4, the Xbox One, the Switch, and the PC. Next up, we have Final Fantasy VIII Remastered coming on the PS4, the Xbox One, the Switch, and the PC. Pause. I want you to know, I'm about to massacre names that you probably found significant in your childhood, and you might be offended. Anyways, continuing. It's a time of war. The Republic of Galbadia, under the influence of the sorceress Ida, mobilizes its great armies against the other nations of the world. Squall and other members of Seed, an elite mercenary force, join hands with Renoa, a resistance fighter, to fight against Galbadia's tyrannical rule and to prevent Ida from fulfilling her ultimate goal. This product is a remaster of Final Fantasy VIII featuring multiple enhancements, including additional options to customize your gameplay experience and difficulty, such as battle assist options, HP, ATB gauge, and limit break boost, game speed boost ×3, no random encounters, obtain all items and abilities, max GF levels currently and all spells, and obtain all limit breaks and cards. So one thing that I do want to mention, this is not on the same level as the Final Fantasy VII Remake. That is not the same project, it's not the same kind of project. This is kind of a more traditional approach to a remaster, where there is much less effort put in, but it's still nice to have the game on the PS4, the Xbox One, the Switch, and the PC. Of course, this is catering to longtime fans of Final Fantasy. I know that, I understand that, it's definitely not aimed towards me, but for newcomers who do want to check out one of the entries in the Final Fantasy franchise that has been heralded as a pretty good one, then you might want to check out Final Fantasy VIII Remastered when it launches this week on the PS4, the Xbox One, the Switch, and the PC. And finally, to round out our main releases, we have Children of Morta coming out on the PS4, the Xbox One, and the PC. Children of Morta sets its story in a distant land but copes with themes closer to our daily lives than one would expect. It is a story of simple emotions we all know so well and value more than sometimes we dare to admit. Love and hope, longing and uncertainty, ultimately loss and sacrifice we are willing to make to save the ones we care for the most. Embark on the adventure of an extraordinary family of heroes. With the corruption spreading through the land, Guardians of the Mountain Morta have to stand up against the ancient evil, but it's not a story about saving the universe, it's a story about a valiant family standing together while the world around them is being devoured by darkness. And now some bullet points. Family ties. The Bergson family is prepped and ready for the forthcoming fray. Discover and experience each character's unique fighting style along with their personalities. Witness their emotions run high as they struggle to help one another return peace to the land. Witness the growth of a family. Inherited talents. Each family member has a different background and expertise, shaping them into a diverse group of guardians. Some prefer close combat, crushing their enemies with magnificent hammers or slashing away with a keen sword or dagger. Others perform at a distance with skillful bow use or extraordinary spells. Discover the distinct playstyle of each member and select the one that suits you. Ever-changing world. The world is touched by corruption, constantly changing. Every forest, dungeon, or temple you explore and skirmish through will never be the same, guaranteeing a unique experience each play session. And finally, of course, a unique art style, a combination of hand-painted pixel art and frame-by-frame animations partnered with modern lighting techniques come to life and create the beautifully dangerous world of Children of Morta. Children of Morta is an action RPG that is very appealing to the eye, and I mean that it looks gorgeous. I love the lighting in this game, and the dungeons are magnificent. But on top of that, when I'm checking out the gameplay, it almost reminds me a bit of Titan Souls, a game that came out a while back, a pretty highly acclaimed indie, but it definitely does diverge a bit, and it is much more story-driven in a lot of ways. For those that are looking for the more traditional elements, there are skill trees, there are plenty of items to pick up and use, there are plenty of conversations to have with people in the world, but without a doubt, I would highly recommend checking it out, giving it a shot, and seeing what's up with Children of Morta when it launches this week on the PS4, the Xbox One, and the PC. And finally, to round out today's show, we have a couple of honorable mentions. First off, Spyro Reignited Trilogy is coming out on the Nintendo Switch and the PC, and on top of that, Torchlight 2 is making its way to consoles on the PS4, the Xbox One, and the the Nintendo Switch. But thank you guys for checking out today's episode of The Drop. Of course, this show is hosted right here on youtube.com/SamuelAdamsMedia every single Sunday, so you can stay up to date and informed with the hottest games coming out this week. But check out the podcast, hosted 5 days a week, covering all the hottest gaming news. And if you enjoy what I bring to the table, do consider subscribing. I would appreciate it very much. But until next time, you guys have a fantastic rest of the week. I will talk to you soon, and peace.